Yes, I welcome back to Strictly Rockers. Dennis Brown, money in my pocket, but I just can't get no love. Cool running. Prince Muhammad here, WERS 88.9, a special edition of Strictly Rockers this evening. We've got the Zion Annotation Band with us, and they'll be back on at about, let's say, 7:20. So that gives us about 15 minutes here to get them back on. We've got members of the band here with us that we'll be talking to in the next couple of minutes. And standing just to my right are a pair of very dread twins, members of the band, who do some of the DJing. And we've got Ross Pipin and Ross Iskas, yes, from Jamaica. They're twins, and you can barely tell them apart. If they could get together and do a DJ dub album, we could call it Ross Pipin meets Ross Iskas Uptown, something like that. Okay, I'd like to ask you, when did you were Ross Iskas? Yes. When did you first start doing some DJ work, some dub work?
Well, I started DJ, I just love DJ from a little youth,
Mm-hmm. You were listening to reggae then, or was that rock steady?
See, but them time of reggae still, when big youth come out, S90 skank and them style,
Mm-hmm. You mentioned to me, you mentioned earlier that Big Youth was your favorite DJ.
Yeah, still my favorite still, right?
Why is he your favorite above all the others?
Well, he's a man who stands strictly truth and rights,
Mm-hmm.
All the other DJ just love rhyme and, seeing. Right now, rhyme leave the children to crime. So that was a big of the man who just chant strictly truth and rights,
Do you think that DJ music is going to catch on here in the stateside? Do you think...
Yeah, man, because reggae music that, Rasta culture said, seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
And who is your favorite DJ, and when did you... This is Ross Pipin now.
True.
Yeah, and you perform with the band right now, right?
True.
You will be hearing from you on a song a little later, I'm sure.
Seeing,
yes.
I have an original working on,
You have a record out now?
No, working on.
Oh, you have an original that you're working on.
So you might hear it later on.
Okay, so when did you first start doing the DJ work?
Still, like our brother said, I love it same way like him.
Together you loved it?
Right. And Big Youth is our favorite still, and I DJ, but I used to love it. I do at the dance hall, like DJ and sound system and things like that.
Right. Are you thinking about maybe getting a sound system together, go around and do some things?
I have one. I have one, named Herbalic Hi-Fi.
Oh, yeah? Okay, we'll be waiting to hear from that then.
Sure.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of DJ dances in the area, Mattapan, Roxbury lately. Are those well-attended, people coming out to see those dances and dance?
True, totally.
A lot of non-West Indians coming out,
Yes, I. Mm-hmm. Reggae music will control the whole universal world still, saying.
So you think it can take over disco music here in the States?
Don't take it over already. Yeah. It's conscious music, positive vibes. You got the heartbeat,
As Peter Tosh says, disco is get down music and reggae is get up music.
Get up music. You got one heartbeat to keep the art, everyone together.
Mm-hmm.
One unity.
Okay, so as far as Zion Annotation goes, you hope that the band will break. Are you going to try and get the band to record, to get a record done stateside?
We're working on it because that's why we here together. Try to get it firm, get it strong.
Mm-hmm. Who are some of your favorite artists other than DJ artists? What who do you like to listen to when you're not listening? You just listen to straight reggae.
Still Culture, Gregory Isaac, and quite a few. You got some nice singers in Jamaica that a lot of people don't hear about because they're in the ghetto and struggling is hard, So you don't hear them, but it got a lot there. I couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, there's many singers that you're never going to hear of here in the States just because they're not going to ever get distributed by a major label. And so that's why some bands are coming stateside. There's bands popping up in New York. A lot of dreads are coming over from Jamaica, starting bands down in the city.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reggae being produced in New York City now.
Truly.
Okay, back there in the back of the crowd, we've got a member of the band. And if you'll step forward here, this is Danny Tucker.
Love you.
Danny has just come back. How long ago did you get back from Jamaica?
About 3 months, maybe 4.
And you were there recording a single, "Take Us Home," which we've heard for a number of weeks.
Right.
When did you decide to go into the studio and record that?
Well, I wanted to do that forever,
Mm-hmm. You've been writing for a long time.
Yeah, but I get the chance December, so I took it.
You went from the States to Jamaica, though. You had been living in the States for some time.
Right, since '73.
Oh yeah. And you were born in Jamaica?
Right, right.
Did you sing with bands back home in Jamaica?
Well, I tried. There was one time I was with a band and show up for rehearsal one night. The equipments weren't there, you know. They all move out, so that was so
That
close
was it.
I went. Yeah.
Okay, and how's the single been doing? I noticed a number of stations are playing it from time to time, and
Yeah, well, it's really been playing around.
yeah, and
Boston.
you're going to do it for us later, right?
Oh yeah.
You
sure.
plan to do any more writing and maybe go into a studio up here or in New
Oh
York
yeah,
or anything
well,
like that?
Financially wise, I'd like to go in soon, but you know how it is.
Mm-hmm. You may have noticed, if you've listened to some of the interviews, I've been asking all the members of the band who their influences were. Partly because, when you ask somebody about reggae in the States, all they say is Bob Marley, or Jimmy Cliff or something. I've been asking all the members of the band and getting a wide response of people they had listened to as youth in Jamaica. Who were some of your favorites when you were growing up?
Well, one of my favorite, his name is right here, Neptunes,
Leroy Sibbles, yeah.
I mean, those guys can really do it.
He was going to be with us today. He's in Toronto at this time and not going to be able to make it down, which is too bad. The Heptones are one of the legendary vocal groups.
Right.
I would say Jamaica. They had some great hits like Fatty Fatty and Book of Rules, right?
Yeah.
So anyone else besides him you were listening to?
I like this guy Ken Boot and.
Ken Booth was around during the Rocksteady days, yes?
Oh yeah, right.
The ska days.
He's something else. Ken Boot and this guy. I forgot his name. John Holt.
John Holt, one of the greatest. Yeah, we have some John Holt here. Maybe I Am Your Man. That's one of my favorites. Maybe we'll get to that later. Standing in the back is the keyboard player, and you are?
Hi, Gene, but I never give no interview,
No interview today? Okay, that's the keyboard player from Zion Annotation. Like I say, we're going to go back on. I say we'll do about 5 minutes here, and we'll get the band back on live here. This is WERS, Strictly Rockers, 88.9 FM. Zion Annotation, the sound of Danny Tucker coming up live to you, live reggae here at ERS this week. We'll be back Thank you. We'll be back next week with some records and the usual thing, but this week we're going to be going mostly live, doing some interviews. White Ram is here, and maybe we can get him in here before we go back to the studio. In any case, a little more music from the turntables, and then we'll send you back to the studio.